Organisations trying to provide input for women, LGBT and religious interests have discovered that Stonewall yet again dictates the policy and find themselves locked out of the process. They've been knocking on the government's door, both literally and figuratively, yet they've all been brushed off or ignored. Why is this? Well, likely because the plan is legally flawed and attempting to circumvent both the Equality Act and human rights laws. As a fellow signatory with a greater legal mind than me has pointed out, it is arguable that the process is tainted from the beginning, because any policy change that may affect the activities of those in another protected class requires that class to be consulted. For example, in section 149 of the Equality Act, it states the need to advance equality of opportunity between persons who share a relevant protected characteristic and persons who do not. So that if any time you are trying to advance any one equality of opportunity, you have to check every other protected characteristic and whether there's going to be any impacts on those other parties. So therefore you have to have due regard in particular to the need of, or the need to, remove or minimize disadvantages suffered by persons who share a relevant protected characteristic. And you must encourage persons who share that relevant protected characteristic to participate in public life or in any other activity in which participation by such persons is disproportionately low. So what that means is that, we're talking about things like, sports, specific interest groups, spaces, as we all know, but this can also apply to religious affiliations whose limitations are also dictated by their sex class. These groups must be consulted if there is any suggestion of negative impact on their current rights. And how this is done is through an equality impact assessment, of which there is no evidence of one having been carried out in this situation. This, I believe, renders the process misleading and unlawful if it does not consult in full all the parties representing others with said protected characteristics.